So the other day I did a video asking, what are 3 words you would tell your 18-year-old self? Now someone commented, embrace the journey. Now at first I was like, why didn't I think of that? Because that was that was pretty good. Because mine was don't be afraid. And for me, I felt like being afraid prevented me from doing a lot of things. Because a lot of times when you're afraid of doing something, you're afraid of stepping out and actually taking a risk. And I felt myself doing that a lot. But when I saw that comment about embracing the journey, that really made me think. Because I think a lot of times we don't like to embrace the journey. We get so caught up in actually being on the journey that we don't see all of the things that God is teaching us in the journey. We don't see all of the things that God is trying to show us in the journey. And I think a lot of times while we're on it, we like to ask God why more than we ask him, what is he trying to show me? Because it's easy to ask why while we're going through it. Because you want to know, why am I going through this thing, God? Why are you constantly putting me on these same paths over and over again? Why am I constantly meeting the same person over and over again? Why am I constantly falling into the same relationship traps, falling into the same pitfalls at work? Why is all of these things continually happening to me? Instead of asking God, what are you trying to show me? And we get so caught up in that we miss the valuable lessons that God is trying to show us. Now, I'm Darius, and I'm a faith-based content creator here on YouTube. Now, on this channel, we're going to talk about faith. We're going to talk about growth. We're going to talk about life, because life be lifing. And the only person or the only thing that I know that can get me through life successfully, now that's God. And that's what I want to show you through this channel. The more y'all connect with me, the more you're going to see, like through my life and through things that I experience, and that how we can see God and see God work in every aspect of our life, in everything that we're doing. You know, one thing we always say is that if I knew then what I know now, things would be a lot different. And for some things it might be. But I think what we fail to realize is that a lot of things that we went through in our past, good, bad, or indifferent, has shaped us for this very moment in our lives right now. Everything that we've gone through has molded us for this very moment in our lives. And God uses those moments to teach us valuable things that are going to lead us to where we want to be. And we love to embrace the good moments because the good moments are the things that we enjoy. But it's in those bad moments that we really saw God's work. It's in those moments where we didn't see a way out, where God showed us a way, that we really saw what God looks like. Because he showed us that there's no other way that you can get through this thing without me. And those moments have shown us so many things in life that I think we overlook sometimes. Think about all those toxic relationships that you might have had. How they taught you how to value yourself. They taught you your worth. They taught you what love isn't. They taught you how to receive love. They taught you how to give it. They taught you how to set boundaries. They taught you what to look for, what not to look for. All of those things, we learned them from past experiences. You see, because the person that God has for you, if you would have met that person years ago, a lot of us wouldn't know how to handle that person, because that person knew what love looked like. We didn't know what love looked like. Someone thought love was having someone beat on you. Someone thought love was having someone cheat on you. Someone thought love was just having a partner doing whatever they wanted to do. We didn't understand what love was. And if God was to give you that person that he has for you back then, we would ruin them, not let alone ruin ourselves. But it's in those bad moments, in those toxic relationships, that we learned how to love. You see, God uses all of those bad moments as training exercises. He uses those things to train us. So when we're able to get to where he wants us to be, now we're ready to handle everything that he has for us. I want you to think about this. You know how they do in baseball. First, you start out in the minor leagues. They don't put you up to the pros right at first. You start out in the minors. You're learning the ropes. You're honing your skills. You're getting all of your abilities together for when they finally call you up, you'll be ready. You see, that's what God does for us when we're on our journey. He's using everything that we've gone through to train us up, so when we finally get called up to the big leagues, we're able to handle everything that God has for us, yeah, we're going to have some setbacks along the way. Yeah, you still may run into some people that don't value you, but at least now you know what that looks like. See, before you would have fell into that trap. Before you would have fell for a person that you knew that didn't have their best interest for you. But now you understand what to look for. Think about all of these bad jobs that we may have been on and how those jobs didn't value you as a person. They didn't push you to be better. They kept you away from a lot of things. They kept you away from your family. They made you think that that job was the only thing that was important to you. And how on those jobs, you use those things to hone the skills that you knew you had in you to start your own business. But you weren't going to see that years ago because you were afraid to step out on faith. But God used those jobs to show you that you can do this job better than your boss. You can do this job better than everybody else. So you've taken that bad situation, and that situation has turned into something that now you are able to build into your own. That's what it is to embrace the journey that you're on. Because if you've never done that, you'd have never realized that, man, I can do this on my own. Man, I can step out on my own and I can do this. Think about all the sleepless nights that you had, all of the depression, all of the anxiety that a lot of us face because we don't know how we're going to make it through the day. But God used those moments to show you that if you just lean on me, if you just give everything to me, I'll pull you through. Now, when you're at the stage that you are right now, you understand that, yeah, I'm going to have some tough times, but if I just lean on God, He's going to show me the way out. Yeah, I'm going to have some sleepless night, but if I pray to my God, He'll show me the way. You see, back then, you weren't able to do that. But it's through the trials and tribulations that you went through in your life, and God constantly showed up every time, on time. And it showed you that if I put everything into Him, man, He'll give everything back to me. That's what it means to embrace the journey. Understanding that everything that you go through in your life is training you for this very moment that you're on right now. It's training you for this very second in your life, for you to be able to step out on faith and do some things that you never thought that you could do. Everything that happened in your past is setting you up right now to be successful in your future. You see, when I think about where I used to be compared to where I am right now, I can't help but get a little happy. But then when I think about what God has for me later on, I can't help but get excited because I know where I started. I know where I am. And I know that if I keep my focus on God, if I continue to dedicate my life to Him, there are going to be some amazing things that He's going to show me. There are going to be some amazing things God is going to show you if you allow Him. I think that's the key to a lot of this, is allowing God to actually move in your life. Allowing God to actually do the thing that He wants to do in our lives. You know what some things... you know what one thing that we always do? You know one thing that we do? We don't give God the opportunity to actually be God because we want to step in and do it for Him. When things don't go the way we want to go, we want to step in and fix it. When we don't go down the path that we want to go down, we want to step in and make our own path instead of letting God do what He says, sitting back, leaving it all to Him. And watch what He can do in your life. I want to read something to you. Romans 8:28. Romans 8:28 said, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." Now that text says all things, not some things, all things, not just the good things, not just the bad things. Not just the things we want Him to have, but all things. All things work for the good of God. Everything that we've gone through in our lives, trust and believe, God had a purpose for that. We may not ever see it. We may not never see what that good is right now. But eventually we will. Things that happened to us 5 and 10 years ago, we may be just now starting to see what that was. But we got to understand that all the things that we've been through in life, all of those things are for the good of God, because those things are shaping us for the very moments in our lives that we're going through right now. That person that you've been waiting for years, or they're just around the corner, but God had to send you through some training before you can find him or her. That business that you've been wanting to start for years, oh, that's right around the corner, but God needed to train you first in those bad jobs so you can understand what a bad boss looks like. So you can understand what a toxic work environment looks like. God had to put you through those trials so when it's your turn, now you can set the better example. All of those sleepless nights that you had, God allowed those to happen so you can understand that you have to start relying on yourself and you have to start relying on me. Everything in life that we go through, God uses it to shape us to be the best version of ourselves. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm going to start embracing the journey that I'm on. So if I can go back and tell my 18-year-old self something now, it would be embrace the journey. Everything that I went through, embrace it. Because those moments set me up for right now. Those moments made me the man that I am right now. And those moments are going to propel me to where God wants me to be in the future. And everything that you all went through, those things are shaping you for this moment, and they're shaping you for the moments that God has for you later on in your life. So embrace them. Don't run from them. Don't turn your back on them. Don't try to skip over them. You see, a lot of times we like to skip to the end of the story. You see, but God's the ultimate storyteller. You see, the thing about him, he already knows the ending. He knows how things are going to end for us. All we need to do is stay on the path. You see, we mess up when we try to jump to the end and read the ending and not knowing that it's the things in the middle, that substance in the middle that's really going to tell us how this thing is going to go. You see, if I try to jump to the end of my story, there are going to be some things in the middle that I'm going to miss that I need to understand my ending. So I'm going to ask you again. What would you tell your 18-year-old self? Drop it in the comments. And if you like what you heard, please subscribe, like, share with someone who might need it. And continue to join me on this journey, because where impossibility ends, God begins. Stay blessed.